Imagine you're a founder on a Tuesday morning. 3 promotional emails went out, 2 social ads launched, and a site headline swapped at midnight. For one glorious day, metrics look promising. Then the next morning, the lift vanishes. That 12% conversion lift you were celebrating? Gone. $8,000 down the drain. Your marketing lead is confused, product is blaming the campaign, and nobody remembers who approved the headline change. I felt that sinking feeling myself. Humans love this stuff, but humans also collide. Today, we fix that with one simple idea, an experiment registry that stops tests from fighting each other before they even start. This needs sparkle. But first, let me introduce the folks who will walk us through a 21-day pilot you can actually run. On the panel, Nova, our CIO who keeps data honest, Stryker, our CTO who builds the hard stuff you can still use, and Pulse, our COO who turns chaos into repeatable flows. Everyone, quick hello?
Pattern detected. Hello, everyone. Quick and calm. Glad to be here. The problem Lyric just described is a classic metadata failure. You can't coordinate what you can't see. Today, I'll lay out the minimal fields every registry needs so you can make decisions without bureaucracy.
Deploying now. Excited to give scrappy, low-friction options for teams that don't have a platform engineer on staff. We'll keep it practical. A one sheet that you can copy into a shared doc, and a suggest-only automation that flags likely conflicts.
Let's streamline this, and then measure it. I'll map the 21-day pilot, who does what when, and the acceptance tests to prove the registry works and doesn't add friction.
Great. First, structural beat. What exactly do you track? Nova, walk us through the minimal metadata. Keep it plain English. What does a busy founder actually need to fill out?
Clarity achieved. Keep it tiny. 4 fields are sufficient for the pilot. 1. Objective. 1 sentence describing what you're testing, in business terms. 2. Owner. 1 person responsible, with contact. 3. Primary signal. The single metric you'll judge success on. Conversion rate, click-through, revenue per user. 4. Sample and timing. Expected audience size and launch window. Optional but useful, baseline and minimal detectable effect, so you know whether a change is meaningful. The point is fewer fields, clear ownership, and 1 signal, so teams don't argue about interpretation.
Say that again. Baseline and minimum detectable effect. Why does that matter for a small team that just wants to ship?
Because without a baseline, a bump is just noise. Baseline tells you where you started. Minimum detectable effect, or MDE, tells you whether your sample size is big enough to see the change you care about. If your ad spend or sample is too small, you'll chase ghosts. For the pilot, set a conservative MDE and a minimum sample threshold so tiny tests flag as underpowered until combined or redesigned.
Nice. Okay, now for the creative side. I'm going to give listeners 3 micro-test templates they can copy into the registry and run this week. Each template is 1 question and the metric to report. Template 1? Template 1. Headline swap. Does a shorter headline increase sign-up rate? Primary metric, free trial sign-ups per 1,000 visitors. Owner, marketing. Why this works? Focused, reversible, and measurable. Template 2. Promo sequence. Does adding a second follow-up email lift click-to-purchase within 7 days? Primary metric, purchases from email cohort within 7 days. Owner, lifecycle marketing. Template free, button color AB. Does a high-contrast button boost CTA clicks on checkout? Primary metric, click-through rate on checkout CTA. Owner, product. Each of these fits the 4 metadata fields Nova just outlined. Let's make it irresistible, copy-ready, and short. Quick interlude. Tech optional note. If you're non-technical and just want the governance playbook, the next section is a short, plain English explainer. We'll flag the deeper engineering stuff as optional. Nova, can you take 60 to 90 seconds on hashed cohorts and privacy bands for listeners who are hearing those terms for the first time?
Projecting the next move. Hashed cohorts are simply a way to group users consistently without storing personal identifiers. Think of it like assigning a random tag to each browser or device that both systems can read, so you can measure who saw test A versus test B without saving names. Privacy bans are rules that limit how small a group you will report on to avoid exposing individuals. For example, never publish results for groups smaller than 50 users. In plain terms, hashed cohorts let you measure safely. Privacy bans stop you from accidentally revealing someone in a tiny sample. If that feels heavy, skip the tech section for now. The registry still works with manual checks.
Architecting the fix. For teams that want a little automation, here's a scrappy recipe. First, a single sheet registry in a shared drive with the 4 metadata fields is the canonical source. Second, add a suggest-only automation, a script or zap that runs a conflict check when a new entry is added. If it flags overlapping audiences, launch windows, or duplicate signals, it posts a suggestion to the owner and pings a reviewer. Third, keep safe defaults. Tap concurrent live tests per audience to 2 and cap ad spend per test during the pilot. Finally, a conflict detection checklist. Check audience overlap, message overlap, and channel overlap. If 2 checks are flagged, require human sign-off before launch. That's it. Majority of the value, minimal engineering.
Can you unpack the suggest-only idea? I want listeners to hear that automation shouldn't be the boss. It should be a helper.
Exactly. Suggest only means the system only recommends. It doesn't auto-pause or cancel anything during the pilot. So when a conflict appears, the owner gets a notification and a reason. This overlaps audience X and has similar messaging. A reviewer is CC'd. Humans still make the final call. That prevents dangerous blind automation and builds trust in the registry.
Let's streamline this into a 21-day pilot. Week 1, launch the registry, assign an owner and reviewer, and copy in 3 live tests using the templates Lyric shared. Week 2, enable suggest-only automation and run daily conflict scans, but require a human sign-off for any flagged conflict. Week 3, collect results, run acceptance tests. Did conflict checks reduce overlaps by 70%? Did owner save 3 to 5 hours per week? Measure adoption. At least 80% of tests must be registered before launch. Acceptance criteria are simple: conflict rate down, adoption up, decision clarity improved. If those aren't met, iterate rules rather than adding more process.
Give me the acceptance tests in plain English. How does a founder prove the registry worked after 21 days?
3 acceptance tests. 1, registration compliance. 80% of launches were registered in the sheet before go-live. 2, conflict reduction. Flagged conflicts fell at least 70% compared to the prior 21-day baseline. 3, time savings. Owners report reclaiming 3 to 5 hours per week on coordination. Use a simple survey and an automated report from your analytics to verify the metric changes. If 2 of 3 pass, consider the pilot successful and expand gently.
Okay, panel, live role play time. We're going to register a promo live and run a conflict check. I'll read the registry entry. Objective: holiday free shipping promo to boost conversion on category pages. Owner: Sarah, marketing. Primary signal: conversion rate on category pages over 7 days. Sample: expected 10K visitors. Launch window: Dev 1 to Dev 7. Nova, do you see any obvious metadata gaps here?
Baseline missing. What's your current conversion rate on category pages? Also, is the audience segmented? If another team runs a site-wide discount that week, you'll get interference. Add baseline and any channel exclusions to avoid overlap.
Conflict scan triggered. There's a marketing blast scheduled for December 3rd, targeting the same category audience, plus a loyalty push in checkout. Suggest-only alert. Overlap on channel and timing. Recommendation: shift launch window or add an exclusion rule for loyalty cohort. Deploying the suggestion now to the owner for review.
Sarah gets the suggestion. She pings the reviewer. Pulse: what does human sign-off look like in this emergency simulation?
Human sign-off. Reviewer checks the overlap, confirms the baseline and the MDE, then either approves as is, approves with exclusions, or asks for a window change. In our simulation, reviewer asks for a timing shift to Deck 8, Deck 14 to avoid the loyalty push. Problem avoided with one quick conversation. Order creates momentum and prevents 8K in wasted ad spend.
That was fast and human. Love it. Okay, final segment. 3 immediate plays you can run this week.
Play 1. Register one active test today using the 4-field template and ask for a reviewer. Play 2. Run a manual conflict scan for any launch in the next 2 weeks. Check audience, message, and channel. Play 3. Schedule a 15-minute weekly review with your reviewer to clear suggested conflicts. Small habit, big payoff.
Bonus tech tip. If you want automation but no engineers, use a no-code automation to post suggested conflicts to Slack or email only. Keep automation suggest only for the pilot. Default caps on concurrent tests and spend are your friend. Precision wins. Simple defaults protect you.
We promised free templates. 1-sheet registry and a 21-day starter checklist are at apexblue.com/experiment registry. Download it, copy it, and run the plays we talked about today. Before we close, quick recap. One rule that would have stopped our founders' 8K mistake: always register before you launch and require one human sign-off on conflicts. That's governance first, not governance heavy.
Remember, track objective, owner, primary signal, and sample. Less metadata, clearer decisions. Efficiency is inevitable when visibility is present.
If you're curious about the tech optional section later, hashed cohorts and privacy bands are safe ways to measure without exposing individuals. Start manual, then automate slowly.
Run the 21-day pilot with those acceptance tests. If you pass 2 of 3, scale the registry. Let the process lead and remove the friction that steals time.
All right. Go to apexblue.com/experiment registry to grab the 1-sheet and checklist. Try the 3 plays this week. Register a test, run a conflict scan, and schedule that weekly review. We want to hear how it goes. Share wins and weird collisions so we can iterate with you. Stay smart, stay curious, and stay ahead.